Hey everyone, welcome back to my journey. It's been about a week, so from day 8, 9 till about day 15 I think we're at. And I'm here in the park. It's absolutely beautiful. They really do a wonderful job gardening here. But I'm feeling great. I haven't been asking as many questions. I did have a little bit of a heavy head, but nothing to worry about there. But I did ask quite a lot today. So I actually firstly asked what is the maximum amount of milk you should drink, and he said that there is no limit. I mean, be reasonable, but it's not like an absolute limit. So, you know, sometimes I like to have 2 or 3 cups, so he was like, yeah, whatever. Obviously, you know, if you have a major calf imbalance, you have to be a little bit more careful, but it's all fine. And that goes to that same goes for water intake as well. You know, there are definitely people out there in ayurveda saying it's, you know, that it's 1.5 liters every day for everyone, but it's not true. And obviously someone of a bigger physique is going to need more than someone of a small physique. It's kind of a bit of common sense, really. And, you know, it depends on your thirst. Like if it's summer, obviously you're going to have more than winter, right? If you're more physically active and so on. So it's good to use your common sense as well. Secondly, I saw some small red dots on my stomach pop up, sort of like the beginning of a mole. He said not to worry about it, so I'm not going to worry about it. Whatever. Now, another question I asked a few days ago because I was feeling constipated was what is actually good for digestion? Because, you know, I'm here, but I'm still experiencing this digestion for 2 days. And he said the absolutes are ghee, cooking ghee, of course, shodhanavati, which is their particular herb, and lots of greens. Obviously, you need to cook your greens with ghee. You should never be cooking it without ghee because it is a very drying, so it's going to dry you up. But if you have it with ghee, it's not going to dry you up, it's going to help detoxify. And matra basti. And my oh my, I did have matra basti the last 2 nights, and he noticed this morning, you're not sleeping well, are you? I'm like, well, no, I'm not. All these like fears of matra basti, if you know, you know. And, you know, potentially leaking. Like my first night was a little bit daunting, kind of leaked a bit. Wish I used a pad. Wish someone told me to use a pad. Definitely use a pad when you're doing matra basti. So I'm taking a break today from matra basti, but it definitely did scrape some stuff out from the colon. And I want to touch on, he went on to, you know, change my attitude to have a bit more positive attitude towards matra basti. And I mean, I do understand the importance of it, but he definitely went on to explain some more. So I definitely know for matra basti, it's definitely putting in about 60 ml of oil up your back hole. And obviously there is a whole protocol to it. I won't get into that, it's a different story. But essentially, it targets the colon, it helps scrape out the colon. And why the colon? Well, most people have a vata imbalance, and the seat of vata is in the colon. So it really targets the colon. In fact, with the protocol that they use and I've applied, it actually gets all the way up to the descending colon, even though only about this much of, you know, the tube goes up your bum. But it actually gets all, with the techniques that they use, it actually gets all the way up to your descending colon, which is incredible, with only, you know, by going up far this much. Now, not just that, he went on to explain, with all your nervous tissues, the ending of those is around the colon region, the descending colon. So it's really targeting that, and it's a really great way to target those mental imbalances as well. So, you know, those vata imbalances, your stress, your worries, your anxieties, the lack of sleep, all of that. Now, obviously I wasn't having lack of sleep because that was all coming out. No, that's me genuinely being worried. But what the effects of what it actually does help to try and resolve, and how it escapes as well is, and gets out of the body, is also through the mind as well, not just down there. So I just wanted to scrape the importance of that. It's really important. Padma's also said, you know, women use it to beautify their looks as well, because, you know, when you're cleaning the toxins down there, you're cleaning the overall body as well, because it's your colon, you know, that holds all this stuff from all around your body. Alright, another great, fantastic point that I wanted to cover is for nutrition. Now, when you're tackling an imbalance, whether it's a vata, pitta, kapha imbalance, the importance is you need to include all the 6 tastes, okay? But you're going to increase or decrease those particular tastes that you want to pacify or increase or decrease. So, you know, like if you are vata imbalanced, you're obviously going to still have those 6 tastes, but you're going to target having that little bit more sweetness, that little bit more nourishingness to it. And, you know, if it's kapha, you're going to decrease in the sweet taste, okay? Pitta, you're going to decrease on the sour taste, still there, but you're going to keep it to a minimum. For example, I know that, you know, if you have excess menses, excess bleeding, it's a high pitta disease, and so you really want to if not decrease, or sometimes you have to go to the extreme of eliminating it. For example, I know with high menstrual bleeding, excess bleeding, you really need to cut out those high pitta foods such as the papaya and pineapple. So next of all, some pointers that I wanted to take on board and just share with you based on a few other clients I've had on board that have come to Krishna through my recommendation. And one of them was that with this lady, she had an onset of osteoporosis, so menopausal for quite a few years, and you know, she had also a recent fall which fractured some of her bones, and it's been quite an issue. And the fascinating thing that I really want people to understand is that the issue surrounding bone health can come from multiple facets, perspectives, layers. And with her, for example, her main issue was that her fat and sugar metabolism, due to the disturbance of the lymphatic system, which is the rasa srota, the rasa dhatu, creates acid in the body and therefore then goes on to degenerate the bones, creates weakness in your knees, lower back, hands, so on. And I thought that was really interesting point to see, because a lot of people will think, oh, that's such a massive vata imbalance, right? But in fact, this lady had a pitta kapha imbalance. So her kapha was blocking her vata. And she was obese, so definitely, you know, you can tell it's a kapha imbalance there. But, you know, for a moment I thought initially it would have been a vata kapha imbalance. And I thought generally tridoshic, but I definitely automatically did think this is a vata imbalance. But no, it's a pitta kapha imbalance, because it's actually from the lymphatic system. It's causing a disturbance to the fat and sugar metabolism, which then creates acid in the body and is degenerating the bones. Another issue she had is high eye pressure. And so for those of you out there, if you have high eye pressure, it was a major concern for her, what to prescribe. And Krishna actually prescribes Shodhanavati. So you take your regular Shodhanavati as you do, you know, your 3 to 5 tablets before dinner. But to combat the eye pressure, he said to put one on your tongue and let it dissolve. And do this, you know, you can do it before food. So this is excluding the part before dinner. You do this a couple times throughout the day. It can be before food, or you know, if you happen to forget, that's okay. You can do it throughout the day. So that is just letting it sit there and letting it dissolve. So you're not, you know, eating it up, just letting it dissolve. And that is the high eye pressure. There you go. All right. Well, that is quite an update for all you. Stay tuned. Oh, and I totally forgot, in terms of my body therapies, I'm pretty much doing the same thing really, but we've turned on to the back busties. So I've done the front busties. The back busties, basically I'm doing it on my lower back, middle region, and then the Griva basti here. So Kati basti, Griva basti, and the Asti basti. Okay, so that's basically it. And then I'm kind of doing the, the matra basti, and I will recommence again tomorrow. He's letting me have a mental break and trauma from it. Today I'm trying to get my mind wrapped around it and have a bit of a positive outlook to it. I mean, I know I need it. I'm definitely keen to have it again, for sure, but it's just letting me have a mental, psychological break. Alright, well, I will catch you later and stay tuned for more and things I learn along the way.